Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Winners on a Wednesday. Every single week I bring people onto the show that have become successful, financially free, killing it in property as a result of the training that we provide. And this week I'd like to introduce to you Zak and Dan. Awesome to have you guys on the show. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So you guys came to the crash course a few months back.
Yeah, in June 21st.
Okay, so super recent.
Yeah.
You're now doing some crazy deals.
Yeah.
What's happened?
Beginning of August, we got approached by a company that needed 5,000 property sourced for them, and they had 190 million to play with, and they offered us
190 million. So you didn't 10x it, you 100x'd it. Because the numbers are the same, just with extra zeros.
Yeah, exactly.
That's insane. Okay.
So they needed properties in the north kind of area, and we were offered 1% of the acquisition price of the property per property we sourced for them. So that's potentially 1.9 million in profit for us if we source.
How old are you guys?
I'm 19.
I'm 18.
You're 18. That's insane.
Yeah.
So let's get a little bit of the backstory. Because to have people like that approach you and say they want to do business with you is obviously huge, it's mega. What did you learn that was so valuable that you've got companies like this with that kind of money saying that they want to work with teenagers? Like, talk to me through how that works. So what's your background? Do you have like a business background or what's...
Yeah. So we both initially have sort of a business background because we started businesses from the age of 11.
Yeah.
Mainly in the marketing field.
Okay.
So influence marketing really for me.
Yeah, so we ran our own separate influencer marketing agencies.
Okay.
Basically working with YouTubers, organising brand deals, stuff like that, paid promotion.
Yeah, mainly paid promotion, and we used to get commission from these influencers. And then property has always been a passion for us, but we always grew up to believe that you have to save a lot of money, get a mortgage, and let it out in the normal route. There's no other ways to make money in property, apparently. So then I first discovered you was on the BBC programme. Okay. This week the landlords moved in. Yeah. And then I just started watching YouTube content. Yeah. And then I was like to Dan one day, we have to get into this. Yeah. And then we booked ourselves on the crash.
Because the thing is, a lot of people that, I mean, I get quite a lot of teenagers watch me on YouTube, and it's great having you guys on the show because the fact that you say you started your first business at 11 and you've been working with YouTubers and influencers, the way that you think, most people that are teenagers, they almost talk themselves out of starting yet because they think, oh, well, I'm just a teenager, therefore I'm not. The fact that you guys are big thinkers, big players, teenagers, I was a teenager when I started, it's great to get an understanding of how you think and what the difference is between you guys and the 18, 19-year-old guys watching this. Like, how can they also do big things, so what gives you that kind of confidence to be able to think, I can work with YouTubers, I'm a marketer, I'm going to start my own business up, I'm going to get into property. To think that way, where does that confidence come from?
It's important to know what you're talking about. So getting educated really is one big thing they should have, which I think mainly where our confidence comes in. So yeah, we did a lot of research. We spoke to a lot of people in the industry.
It's a lot of trial and error.
Yeah, a lot of trial and error as well. So even if we weren't 100% on something, we still went for it. And if it didn't work out, it's a lesson learned from it.
Yeah, but how do people, starting business so young, and I know now you're not that young, but you're still young, but how do you get around the fear of thinking they won't take me seriously, I don't know what I'm talking about? Do people take you seriously, or did they when you started?
It was a bit of 50-50. Some people did. They loved what we do from seeing past work. But some people, they didn't want to work with us at all. Yeah, that's true. But it's just the way you present yourself, really, and how you come across to someone.
Like, you guys come here in suits, looking great, short, sharp hair, you know, and I think that's really important. Yeah. So what did you learn at the crash course then, and what happened on the property front? You're confident business people, you've got a background in working with influencers and YouTubers, you want to get into property, you come to the crash course just a few months back. What happened?
Yeah. So when we were at the crash course, it sort of changed my mind a little bit about the routes I wanted to take, for me especially, because I always thought to be a deal sourcer you had to know loads of rich people, loads of investors. Yeah. But what I learned at the crash course was that it was actually more about finding the deals, and once you know how to find the deals, the investors will come, and that's exactly what happened. And
Exactly.
That's exactly what we learned at the crash course, was how to find deals. how to work out things like rental yield and stuff like that, and that's literally all we needed to get going.
Yeah, you have a good enough product,
Yeah, and
then people are going to come to you.
It's crazy. I didn't
Okay.
really get it first.
Yeah, that's so important. What about yourself?
yeah, same, exactly what Dan said. We've taken on a lot of information and we've networked with so many people. I think that was the one big benefit as well, speaking to other like-minded individuals.
Telling everybody.
And telling everybody.
One of the things I find really interesting about your story and also about business in general, I find that the marketplace is not ageist or racist or discriminative. Like the marketplace, all it cares about is, can you bring the value? So if you're 12 years old, but you're able to find good deals, then you're going to get paid well.
Yeah, exactly. If the figures stack up, that's all that really investor cares about. It doesn't care where it comes from. It's just if the return on investment is there, it would be stupid not to go for it.
They'll look at the deal. Did you get your guys? Did they sign like a non-disclosure agreement?
They did. Yeah.
I expect. So because you know what happens. These big players, these big investors, they'll take advantage of people. You know. So okay. So you came into the crash course. You had your eyes opened. You learned about how to find good deals. So talk to us about that then. How do you find deals that attract the likes of multi-millionaires?
Well, for us it was quite handy. They basically approached us and just gave us a mandate. So they said, look, this is the criteria, go and find properties. So it was quite easy for us to then start bringing agents in the areas that they were looking at.
Yeah, I think
So
agents
if
are
you've
your
got
best
anything-
friend in this industry.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
If you create a good relationship with them, you just have properties just flowing to you, even off-market properties as well.
Yeah, of course. But again, like most people watching this that are teenagers, they'll be too scared to go and speak to agents. What does the conversation look like then with an agent? So you don't know the area, you don't know any agents, but you want to get in with them. What do you do? What do you say?
So we first start by doing a bit of due diligence on the market around the area with them. And we ask a few basic questions like how's the area, what kind of tenants are there, what's the houses price like, what's the rental yields like. So it's just generally finding out from them really, because they live and they work there, so really use their knowledge.
And then what, do you call the agent? Do you go and visit them?
Yeah, we call them, and it's a mixture of both really.
So you say, I'm the agent, I answer, Bester Weaves, Samuel speaking, how can I help? What do you say?
Go on then. You can
Oh,
go
right,
first.
okay. Yeah, so I would just say like, yeah, hi, my name's Dan. I'm looking for an investment property, looking to purchase with cash quite quickly, and it has to fit this criteria, so like however many beds, this value. Do you have anything that might be coming up or already on the market that we could take a look at? And it just sort of goes.
And at this point, they don't know. At this point, they don't know whether you're 16 years old or 36 years old. They don't. But if you're ringing them and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm 18, then they're going to be thinking, oh, he sounds like he's only 18. But if you say, no, I got a $190 million company wanting to, that's great. Okay, so you ring up, you're straight to the point, you tell them what you're looking for, you book some viewings, and then how do you work out whether a deal is good or bad?
It's all on the figures really, calculating between the purchase price and the rental income coming in. So just do some basic maths on them. Do you want to go through how we...
So, for example, like the target rental yield was above 9% for this contract. So it's
Above 9%?
Yeah, above 9%.
So fairly easy, to be honest. We found quite a few that qualified. A lot of them...
And is that return on investment or is that yield?
Yield.
Okay, which is pretty decent.
Yeah. We started looking, we were like, actually, no, there are quite a few of these. Because obviously when you get approached with a contract this big, you're like, hang on a minute, can we do this? You start to self-doubt, but then you have to realise, no, yeah, we've learned how to do it, we will do it. And you sort of, you just put all the knowledge, like the mouse price site and looking at other properties to let in the area and just putting those two together to get an idea of the rent. And then you would call the agent and see, as a tenant, what you would pay for rent in that area. And
so it's not just don't go by one agent, call multiple in the area.
Yeah, I love that as well, as in ring up as a tenant to get the real inside information. Guys, so basically what you've done is you've just come to the crash course and you've actually just applied and implemented everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've got, okay, so far then, first thing is confidence to go and speak to the agents, to go and speak to people to get the deals. Then it's assess the deals by doing the due diligence, by working out the yields, the return on investment, all that side of things. Let's say, okay, brilliant, you got some brilliant deals. How did you then land this client? How did they find you, or how did you find them?
So it's really when we first started up the company, it got compliant within a few weeks. And then, we just market ourselves. So, as you said, tell the whole world that we're property investors.
Yeah.
So we're quite...
Changed every bio on social media, LinkedIn.
Yeah, we had quite a bit
like
of a following from our previous businesses. So we luckily had this platform where we could market on.
Nice.
And then, this company just reached out to us saying, we have this budget, we have this many properties, can you...
Can I just stop you right there as well? Because you said we luckily had this platform. Not luckily, you built this. You created this. Because people can say, oh, well, I don't have that platform. Well, you got to go and create the platform. You not aggressively, that's the wrong word, but proactively were saying to me, dude, I got a story here. I need to come on Winners Wednesday, right? You're like, I got a story here. We're teenagers, we're killing it. We just landed this big deal. I got a story. That's what you got to do to grow your brand. You know, be proactive. So you built that. Okay, cool. And then tell the world that you're a property investor. So what you start saying, guys, we're into property now. This is what we're doing. Changing your LinkedIn stuff. And then someone reaches out to you.
Yeah, this contract just comes just like that.
Yeah, and then more of a question at first. Like, oh, is that something you do, or you know, we were just like, at this point we were like, oh my god, we've never done this before. But obviously we replied like, yeah, of course, you know, we work bespoke sourcing to your requirements, and they were really.
And then they wanted 2 sample properties to see if we can meet up to their standard. We sourced them fairly quickly within a few hours. We sent that across to them, and they were blown away because they contacted other sources and there were nothing compared to what we found.
Yeah, because you know how to find good deals. Again, the market doesn't discriminate.
Exactly.
If you're producing the goods, doing the due diligence properly, doing the research, you've set yourself up, become compliant, the real deal. And you don't have to fake, you don't have to sort of pretend you've been in the game for 10 years. You can be real. Look, you know what? We're quite new to this, but here's the deal which speaks for itself.
Exactly,
they know that as well. They're completely aware that we literally, although we had an essay before, we were interested in property, they knew that the company, the sourcing business, had only just been set up 2 months prior. And they were completely fine with that.
Yeah, because the deal stacked up and the return on investment stacked up.
So they're paying you 1% of the deals that you found, and that's up to 109 million, which is insane. How many properties have you found them?
So we've just completed on 4 today. We just had the phone call today. They're saying it's all been approved and processed.
Signed on the dotted line.
Signed on the dotted line.
Dude, congratulations.
Thank you.
So how much have you made then, just today? How much have you made?
So today,
just under 1,800.
1,800.
That's incredible.
Just 3 days worth of work.
That's incredible. And you know what's really interesting is that most people, to make that kind of money in just the last few days, 1,800, most people think that you need a lot of investors. You don't necessarily need a lot of investors. You just need 1, 2, 3, 4 that are prepared to do business with you again and again and again.
That's it. They have recurring clients, and once you have that recurring client and they're happy with what you do, they're going to come to you always.
If this is just from one customer as well, from one client, it sort of gives us a bit of hope for the scaling it.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like, as you say, 1.9 million. If they invested the whole lot and they did it through you, if they're happy with the deals that you're producing, which it looks like they are, like just source them 2 deals a month.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's like an income. It's almost like financial freedom from one client as a deal sourcer as a teenager. That's what we should maybe title this video. But that's amazing. So what's the biggest things then that you've learned over the process of doing this?
Ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Find out, use the estate agents to your advantage. They know everything about the property ins and out. So make sure you ask the right questions. Just like the different types of leaseholds.
Yes.
Like is it freehold, is it leasehold, stuff like that. And find out the history of the property. Why is the vendor selling it? You can potentially get a lease option agreement out of it if you found out.
Yeah. Right, so doing the investigation, right?
Do a lot of investigation. Yeah.
You're like detectives.
Yeah. Literally, you're a little detective seeing the ins and outs of the property. Also, go view the property. That's another important thing, I would say. Have a good look around the property. Yeah. Make sure it's exactly what the agent is telling you what it is. Yeah. Because sometimes they do like to bend the truth a bit to sell the property to you. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So definitely carry out a lot of research and don't just find one on Rightmove and we found your property.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's got to be a good deal. Otherwise, they're not going to come back for more.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great. What about yourself, Dan?
I think to do with the rent, I think like what we spoke about calling up as a potential tenant.
Yeah. What do you explain what you mean by that then?
So you would call up an agent and say, yeah, I'm looking to move into this area. This is, I want a 2-bed house. What sort of price am I going to be paying around this area? Yeah. Because they'll give you a much more accurate than if say it was like, they could say like, oh yeah, you pay $350 a month. But then they could say if you were looking at buying a house. Oh yeah, if you rented this out, you could get 500 a month.
Right. Right.
And they're trying to sell it to you. So
Yeah.
if
So you're almost like role playing
yeah.
to get the truth. But then also another great thing about doing that is you get to, it's almost like mystery shopping, because some agents might, if there's a letting agents watching this, might think, oh, ringing me up, pretending to be someone you're not, it's wasting our time. No. Yeah. It's not wasting our time. It's checking that you are a good agent, mystery shopping you, and then if you come across well on the phone, then you're going to then use them as part of your power team, and then you've got 190 million pounds to buy houses and let them manage, just because it's like a mystery shop. Yeah. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. I even mystery shop my own office sometimes. Yeah. You know, I'll ring up and just check people answering the phone professionally and quickly. So that's a great tip. What's the future looking like for you guys then? What's the plans?
So we definitely want to move into buy, refurbish, refinance.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing for us.
Our own portfolio is a big thing. That's obviously the big goal. And now we've found something that can probably give us the capital to do that. Yeah. Then it's quite exciting.
Another great thing is as well, like, you know, I know you've not paid me a penny.
Yeah. Literally nothing.
You've watched my YouTube videos. You've been on the crash course, and as a result, you're doing these kind of deals. Yeah. So, you know, I just think that's a real testament as well to how great the free stuff is sometimes. Definitely. There's free resources out there. There's books, there's podcasts, which is fantastic. You know, so I'm really impressed. I'm hoping that you'll do some advanced training as well at some point.
Yeah, definitely. I think we will need it for when we move into bigger projects and stuff like that. Yeah. Definitely want to move into the commercial side of things as well.
Amazing. But you've implemented what you've learned, made a massive success of it. What would be your biggest advice to people watching this and they're thinking they want to get started, they want to start making money, whether that be through deal sourcing? What would your advice be? What should they do? What are the next steps? How do they get started?
I think the first thing is to get educated. Yeah. So definitely sign for the crash course. You know, that's one of the biggest benefits you get.
If you've been to the crash course and you're not taking action, it's sort of like, why did you do it? Yeah. So, you know, it's not like it's a short day either. Like the first day, I think it was pretty long, wasn't it?
Mate, 14 hours.
Yeah. 14 hours. So, you know, you go through that, and then for people to come out, like we had a group of us, and then for some people to come out and then not use it, it's like, there's so much that you can do.
So even after you get educated, take action. Yeah, don't hold back. Just do it. Yeah. Don't be scared.
Even if it pushes you out your comfort zone, like me when I was calling the agents for the first time, I was like, I don't know about property. I'm like shaking. I'm like, what do I do? What do I say? And you just as soon as I answer the phone, you just go into that mode and forget about all the fear.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, it doesn't take that much capital to start up a sourcing business, does it?
Exactly. Yeah, just
the compliance stuff.
Yeah. What, like $1,000 or two?
Yeah, a few grand. Yeah.
Yeah, because people ask me, and I'm thinking it was a long time ago when I got set up, so I don't even remember what the cost is to set up a business, and I know there are some costs, but
I think we spent about 1,400 on getting
clients. Completely paid off in the first deal. So.
Yeah, it's literally just paid off.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, if you're so worried about spending a few £100 here and there, you know, people say, I can't come to the crash course because of I can't afford the hotels, I can't afford to be a deal sourcer because I can't afford to get insurance to become compliant. It's like, if you're that small-minded, that you're worrying about the few hundred or the few £1,000s to change your life and to set up. At the end of the day, it is a business, you know. So I think some people almost they just expect to be able to make money with no money, no work, but it is work. It takes work, it's effort, it's a business. But regardless of your starting point, if you're starting out with no money and you're starting out with no experience and nothing, you can do it, because anyone can get their hands on a few thousands. What do you think? Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. We've proven this because we've literally done it, like a proven example. So for people to use that as an excuse, they have no money, it's just...
How do you get your hands on the first few £1,000s just to kind of get started, to get whether it be the education, whether it be the compliance, the travel and the transport, that first little bit of startup money? How do you get that?
We literally approached a friend saying, can you borrow us this money? And he believed in the business and us, and
So did he give you a free loan? Did you give him interest? Was it a gift?
It was literally a free loan. So he said pay back whenever you get your first deal, and we're literally going to be paying him back next week. So
right. So it's totally no money down for you guys.
That was the plan.
So why do you reckon he trusted you to do that? Did he want to be part of your story? Did he want to support you? What was in it for him?
He just wanted to support us, become financially free, because he's recently became financially free, and he wanted us to do the same. He's like, you went through the crash. We brought him to the crash course as well. Yeah, he came. We brought him along to the crash course.
And you know what though, in this industry, I feel that people want to help people. in the property business, I want to help people, but they want to help each other.
Yeah, like the property Facebook group, like a lot of people just helping each other out. Yeah. It's amazing.
It's awesome.
It's cool.
So no money down, teenagers, landing big deals, inspiring the rest of us. It's great to have you guys on. I really appreciate you coming out, and I look forward to seeing what you do next, helping you get there, and awesome, man. Guys, if you're not inspired after that, I don't know what's wrong with you. If you want to be on Winners Wednesday yourself, then why not come on down to the Property Investors Crash Course. I'm going to drop a link below so you can get yourself booked on, and look forward to seeing you at the top. Thanks so much. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time.